I want to start by thanking Senator Murphy, my fellow senators and fellow House members for advancing this initiative to protect First Amendment rights in the United States of America. We shouldn't have to be here today. The First Amendment is crystal clear. The government may not use its power to squash political dissent. That is textbook First Amendment. But that is what President Trump has been doing since the beginning of his administration, and now they've announced their intention to dramatically step up that effort. In the aftermath of the terrible murder of Charlie Kirk, President Trump could have united the country. He could have united the country behind the simple principle that political violence is unacceptable regardless of the source. Instead, he and his lackeys in the Trump administration, at the DOJ, at the FBI, at the FCC, and elsewhere, have decided to weaponize that horrible murder for his own political purposes, to use government power to crack down on dissent and to go after his critics. This is not new for this administration. Donald Trump claimed to be a champion of the First Amendment at the same time he was locking up students for exercising it, and the Trump administration has been going after universities and law firms and media outlets for political purposes, targeting them for political reasons. But this new attack on free speech is now accelerating. Trump and his Attorney General have vowed to go after groups and organizations whose views they disagree with. Just the other day, FCC Chair Brendan Carr threatened Disney, ABC, and Jimmy Kimmel. Here's what he said. I'm going to read one line from what he said. He said, quote, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way. These companies can find ways to change conduct and take action, frankly, on Kimmel, or there's going to be additional work for the FCC ahead." That is a textbook example of violation of the First Amendment, using government power, abusing government power. The FCC chair essentially threatening to use his power over licenses and mergers to pressure companies to fire Kimmel. Shamefully, ABC fell in line. They capitulated. They didn't have to, but they did. This legislation that Senator Murphy and the rest of us are introducing, and today's the framework, but the bill will follow, will strengthen the ability of individuals and organizations to protect themselves against this abuse of government power and deter government officials from engaging in that effort to go after it. That's why we need to pass this legislation. We have to stand with those who stand up against illegal bullying by Donald Trump and his administration, because bullies, they try to pick people and organizations off one by one until there's no one left to stand up for anybody else. And those who capitulate and those who appease that effort simply put the rest of us and our rights at risk. That's how dictators, that's how kings, that's how authoritarians rule. The First Amendment was established out of the bitter experience of individuals being locked up by King George I, King George II, and King George III, simply for criticizing those kings. We fought a revolution in this country over that, and we're not going back. As I said at the beginning, we shouldn't have to be here, but we will not be silenced, and we must protect the First Amendment and political dissent. That's what this bill, that's what this initiative will do. And I thank my colleagues.
Representative Crowe.